Everybody, it's your girl Ashley, the Amateur Expert, and I'm coming to you live today for the Amateur Live show. I'll be interviewing Asia Star in a little bit. If you've never watched the show, the concept of the show is to talk to people about their idea of success, their tips and motivators that they use along the way, and just to learn about their career path. So Asia's in the room, and we're going to get started. Maybe. She's in. Hello. How are you, Asia? And welcome to the show.
What up?
If you could please introduce yourself to the audience, let them know who you are and what you do currently for work.
I am Asia Star. I'm a hip hop artist. That's what I do.
Okay.
Influencer, creator.
Love it. And when you were a child, what did you want to do when you grow up? What did you think you wanted to do, I should say?
Honestly.
Yep.
When I was my childhood was real different. So what I thought I would be is a hustler's wife.
Okay. And so what was your idea of success?
As a child?
Yep.
As a child.
Or as a child and as you were thinking that was what you wanted to do?
Well, as a child, I thought my idea of success was just making it out of the hood.
Mm-hmm.
That was successful. And being a hustler's wife, being seen, having designer clothes, things like that, honestly, that was my idea of success as a child. Now, right now,
now that you are an artist and influencer, what is your idea of success?
My idea of success right now is more so doing what I love, being paid to do what I love. That's success.
And how did you make the transition from wanting to be a hustler's wife to being this person who makes their own money and is an influencer in her own right?
Life experiences, understanding, as I got older, that wasn't the life to live. Life experiences and really finding out who God was.
Mm.
So
that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty much what did it. When everybody started dying around me, from being associated with that life or getting locked up, you get older, you get a little more mature. You see that what you thought was success isn't really success. And even now, when people see you on Instagram or they see their celebrity, whatever, on Instagram, and they think that's idea of success, and really for real, they broke or they are portraying a life that's not real.
Mm-hmm.
But life experience to teach you that what you think you want, you really don't want.
Right. And at the end of it, there's an underlying goal at the end of it. So your goal was to be successful or to be with someone who was a success, and ultimately you became the success, which is so. So how, for someone who is looking to break into the music industry, what were some of the steps that you took to start your path?
Creating and a whole lot of prayer, because it is a lot of days that you cry about it. You want it so bad that you cry about it. So I just feel like the steps that I took to break into it is just really creating and being true to myself. But it's a lot of prayer, because there's a lot of times that I wanted to quit, that I wanted to give up, and just trusting the process, trusting that God got a plan. You know what I'm saying? I really hold myself accountable to trusting God's plan for my life.
Dope. So good. So good. So good. So, when did you decide, or when did you know that you wanted to be an artist?
Probably when I was like 10 or 11.
Okay. And so at that age, did you start pursuing it, or did you?
Yeah, no, I didn't start pursuing it like seriously until like 2012.
Okay. And what do you think made you have trepidation about starting?
What made me have what?
Fears, or what made you not actually do it until you were older?
Just the fear of not feeling like I was good enough. And then when you initially start, you really don't be good enough. You have to put in the work and perfect your craft to make sure you get to that place of being comfortable with, you know, who you are, your flaws and all of that. But I wasn't good enough when I first started, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It took a minute for me to get to this point. And even now, I'm content and I'm thankful for from where I came from, but it's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah. So, what tips and motivators did you use along the way as you were navigating through what you thought you wanted to do to deciding what you want to do? And then, yeah, so I'll start there.
With tips and motivators, being
But
around
you
good
said
people.
praying too. So, besides
Yeah.
prayer,
Besides prayer, I would say being around, having good people around me,
mm-hmm.
making sure that my circle was a bunch of like people that motivated me when I was super at my lowest point. And I didn't have people around me that was like me. It was
Mm-hmm.
people the complete opposite of me and what I like, people to hold me accountable. That's what motivated me and kept me going. Um, and the tips that I have now is really, and I don't even want to sound like corny or none of that, but honestly, having a relationship with God, like staying close to God, so I'll be able to recognize his voice amongst
Mm-hmm.
all the loudness, all the chatter, all the Instagram posts, because I think, it's easy to get addicted to Instagram. You wake up in the morning, you reach for your phone before you do anything.
Yep.
But really trying to like come out of that and have a relationship with God, so if his voice isn't foreign.
Mm-hmm.
That's my tip. That's what keep me going. That's what keeps this whole thing, like I keep get elevating that. I can't blame it on nothing else. Like that's really what it is.
That's dope. And so, what's next for you? What's coming up? What
Oh
can we
my
see?
gosh. Yo. It's so much that's coming. So I'm in the
Currently, you're
process.
working on.
Yes, I'm currently working on my project. It's called LIE.
Mm-hmm.
Lie, right?
Yeah.
Stands for loyalty is everything. So it's an acronym, but it's also
Okay.
double entendre, where like we lie to ourselves,
That's
we
true.
lie to other people, we accept being lied to if it feel good. Um, we lie about having things that we don't have or portray to have. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on that. Got some videos coming up,
Okay.
merch, everything. I'm
Let's see.
currently doing
I'm
right
waiting
now.
for a shirt.
For sure. I'm setting stuff up. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting
Okay.
preparation. So when I come out, I don't have to work on those things. So that's
Okay.
what's happening. And I used to be so like pressed, I gotta put out music, I gotta put out music. I don't feel like that no more. I got some dopeness in the arsenal, you know what I'm saying? I got some fire that's about to come. But it's all about timing and preparation. So when it's done, that's when I'm gonna come out with it. When I'm done setting up my situation to where I don't have to think about, oh, I should have did this or should have did that. Yeah, nah. I'm putting everything in its rightful place so I don't have to backtrack. And then that's when the project will be released. But I got some fire on deck.
I can't wait. So we have a question from the audience. Someone wants to know, what was your biggest lesson that you learned along your journey?
Mm, to really trust the process and not to um, act off of emotion.
Mm,
I lost a lot of money, a lot of money, trying to do stuff like trying to make it go faster
okay.
and trying to do stuff to impress other people. So trusting the process and not allowing people I don't know
Mm.
to dictate how I move. And for real, I don't even think people be thinking about you like that. But we have it in our mind that
Yeah.
they feel this way, or we should do it based on what somebody else posted or something like that. So really trusting the process and not worrying about so much what other people think.
Awesome. That's really important. And I'll just speak to my own personal experience. I was promoting a show. I think my 26 show for so 2 weeks ago. I was
Mm.
supposed to do a show with this dude who was an influencer and someone who I had been following for a really long time, and I was super excited about it. I made travel plans. I was going to a conference, and I traveled and made everything around this one interview,
Mm.
and he didn't even respond to, like, on the day of, to say when he was available, like, and he just basically ghosted me.
Mm.
And I was devastated because I was like, people are expecting this, and my friend was like, well, you know.
Yeah, it be like
and
that though.
and so, but like, that's very true. Like, do the best you can with what you have, and don't worry about outside influences.
That's another big one. Using what you currently have versus waiting for, like, I need to get this, like, I need to wait until I have this many followers or this many fans to do this. Like, work for
Hmm.
what you got right now
Yep.
and be appreciative for what you have. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's key. And it's easy to get caught up into though. Like, I'll do good for like a month or two, and then something will happen. I'll see something on Instagram,
Hmm.
and it'll make me feel like I ain't doing enough.
Right. Yep.
So I just really make sure I may post and then I'll get off.
Yes.
And sometimes I'll take a complete hiatus from Instagram, be
Hmm.
gone for like a month or two. And people be like, yo, what's happening? Are you okay? And it's like, yeah, like, life is great now
Right.
that I'm not watching you niggas like
It's so
pretend.
true. Yeah,
So
it's so true and
that's
important
like
for
big.
your mental health. Someone else asked, what are some of your musical influences?
Nas, Lauryn Hill, that's easy. Jay-Z and J. Cole. Oh my gosh. Those are the top. So that's four, right? My fifth one, Lauryn Hill, Jay-Z, Nas, J. Cole. That's top five. Did I say J. Cole twice?
I
That's my friend in my head.
don't. Y'all be
But
friends in
yeah,
real life soon.
word.
Um, when you first started, were you considering yourself a Christian rapper?
I was.
And now has that changed, or
Yes, definitely
okay?
changed.
And what
So
was
I feel like it's so crazy. I was just talking to Chad. I don't know if he's still in the chat or not, but what's up? Shout out to Chad. Chad is the owner of Rapzilla, right?
okay?
It's one of the biggest Christian platforms in the world. But man, we were talking this weekend, and I did consider myself a Christian artist when I first came out.
I thought so.
Yep, that's facts. That's where I was. You know what I'm saying? In my life at that time, in 2012 and 2013, I honestly felt like that's what I had to do.
Okay.
And that's not being true to who I really am. That is definitely a part of me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That is like the biggest part of the pie, but that's not the only part.
Right.
So, but yeah, I'm not a Christian artist because I am a Christian who's an artist, but I guess when you say nigga and shit, that disqualifies you. So, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
maybe, possibly.
saying? Yeah.
That's great. Someone asked, what do you feel about going independent versus signing with a major label?
Mm. I think they both have their place. You know what I'm saying? I'm not anti signing to a label, but it would have to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm putting in all this work right now, spending my own money, sleepless nights. Sometimes I will be up for 2 days straight, off the
Right.
energy drink. Don't try that at home, kids. But you, like, for real, making sure I get it done.
Okay.
And to do all of that and to sign to a label, it would have to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would have to own my intellectual property.
Right.
So if I can own my publishing and my intellectual property, then I would. But if not, then yeah, no. Ain't nothing
That
wrong with
makes sense.
independent. It's just a slower grind.
Yep. And it seems like a lot of artists are doing that now. Monica has left her label and is starting an independent label, and it seems like a lot more people are doing that. So
Yeah,
you got to do
because
what works
it's
best for
like,
you.
as an independent artist, I can sell 10,000 units and become rich.
Mm.
Versus with a label, if I sell 10,000 units, I'm considered a flop.
Yep.
So yeah, like Nipsey Hussle too. That's a huge influence for me.
Yeah.
Huge.
I
So
feel like
yeah.
Master P's motto in the beginning when he first started is something that artists should or would look up to. And even Jay-Z, how they started just their own grind.
Yeah, I think, it's a lot though with that. Like independent, it sounds real cool, but it's work. You gotta put in work and you gonna lose sleep if you want it that bad. Not only are you gonna lose sleep, man, it's a lot of money and it's gonna take a lot of time. And for me, I'm a perfectionist. The reason I haven't came out with my project yet is because it has to be right.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be on no half ass. Like it has to be dope and it has to be right. And I'm not gonna rush nothing. And it costs a lot of money. So
Right.
man, I have songs right now still not mixed just to keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Like it costs money.
Right. And
So
especially you want to do it right.
facts. If it's not done right, like
Because you could do it and it won't be
night night,
done
you might as well go night
correctly.
night.
Someone asked, and I think you know this person,
Hmm.
asked, do you ever feel conflicted about the change and becoming a Christian, from being a Christian rapper or artist to where you are now?
Yeah, I do because the confliction comes in from being not confliction, but being conflicted comes in. I don't want to mislead anybody and cause anybody to go down the wrong path.
Hmm. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's just a part of who I am. I can't even go a full conversation without talking about the goodness of God and how prayer, and not just prayer, but taking time out of my day to out of my week fasting and reading the word. Like that's a heavy part of my life right there. And without it, I'll go nuts. Real talk.
that's what's up. Someone said they can't hear you. I can hear you though. So I'm just wondering if that is true for everybody. Can everyone still hear? Okay. I
They
think
say, okay, maybe it was my phone.
I think we good. Asia, this is so good. I appreciate your insight and your openness and your transparency in talking to me about these topics.
Wow.
Oh yeah, so it was a couple people. They said, but they can hear you now. Hey y'all, thank you for joining us. um, so Asia, last question is, I call myself the amateur expert, and I claim to know a little bit about a lot. So if you
Okay.
could please share with me a random tidbit of information, a fun fact, or something that will allow me to answer like a 200-word question on Jeopardy or $200
You
level
want me to share a fun fact about myself?
about yourself, or just like a piece of knowledge, or like a Snapple fact, maybe.
About who? Myself? Or about what?
It could be about yourself if you want, or it could just be any, like, for instance, did you know that your forearm, so from your
Okay.
here to your elbow, is the size of your foot?
Yeah, and I knew that too, low key.
It's crazy, and it's like, what? But like something like that, or it could be something about yourself, either or.
um, a fun fact. Hmm, that caught me off guard a little bit.
Or
I
it
can
could
give you.
be a source of inspiration. It could be a quote that you like. It could be one of your favorite lyrics. It could literally be anything. Something, teach me something, basically, is the question.
Oh, okay. So pretty much teach you something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'll first say this about myself. Like I like to quote random movie quotes, like out
Okay.
of the blue. And if you're not a movie buff, you probably will not know
And
what
I'm
I'm
not
talking
one.
about. Right. I
I
like
would
doing
have
that.
no
But
idea.
something that you can learn from let's see. A did you know question for you.
Okay.
Right.
I'm
So
ready.
you're and I always wonder what was that about the amateur expert, like
Yeah,
amateur expert.
it's an oxymoron, which is basically my life because I feel like my life is an oxymoron. But also, my mom has always said you should know a little bit about a lot. When you go into a room, you may not know everybody or everything that they know, but you should be able to bring something to the table. So that's really the point of this show, right? I like to interview people to get their to learn about their journey, and then my hope is that that inspires other people, but also your story and your path is going to be different from another artist, right? So everyone has
Mhm.
their own story, but I also enjoy learning. So teach me something, anything.
Okay. Did you know that the acronym for HOMES, HOMES,
For
HOMES, what that means based on all the lakes?
sort of Huron,
Yep.
Ontario,
Yep.
Michigan,
Yep.
Erie,
Yep.
Superior. Yo, my
Yep.
fifth grade teacher would be so happy.
That's what's up. Absolutely.
That was good. Thank you for testing my knowledge. That was good. That was good.
That's dope. I
Thank you.
appreciate what you're doing and I appreciate you interviewing me. I don't do lives enough. I think I'm working and I feel like once I get to a place, and see, that's the thing. I feel like once I get to a place, then I'm gonna do more lives. I need to do more lives and include people in the process. Like I have a studio session. I have a studio session tomorrow. I'll probably be in there all night. And then I have a day job as well. And people don't like to talk about day jobs. I don't know how y'all make y'all money and get this train going forward, but we gotta work. So
Okay,
my idea of
so you're
success,
grinding.
I have a full-time job.
Okay. So we'll have to get you on another time and talk about what you do there.
Oh my gosh. I do a lot.
Yeah,
I
so
do a lot.
we'll have a part two.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to talk about that. All I will say is I'm a supervisor for a Fortune 500, maybe more now, company.
Oh wow.
So my idea of success is when I get to leave there and triple my income by
Mm,
doing what I love. That's success to me.
amen. And it's gonna happen. It's gonna
Facts.
I
I
can't wait to
agree.
see it.
I
Can't
agree.
wait to see it. So share with the people where they can find you on Instagram. If you have a website or SoundCloud or wherever they can hear your music, how can they follow you? When is the merch coming? Where can they get the merch?
So all the merch will be on my website. My website is under construction, but is asiastarmusic.com.
Okay.
Um, and Instagram, all social media platforms, it will be she is underscore Asia Star. You can always search the hashtag the King's Daughter
Okay.
because that's like what I go by as well because my father is the king of all kings, so we are the King's Daughter. That's like the whole movement.
Amen.
But yeah, search Asia Star Music hashtag or she is Asia Star on all social media platforms.
Perfect. And so this interview will be on Instagram it'll be on Instagram for the next 24 hours, and then it will be on YouTube, and all of your information will be in the description there. Thank you again for doing this. Thank you guys for watching and for interacting with us. That's the first time that that's happened. So we're doing big things. Okay. Um,
That's what's up.
so yeah, follow my cousin. She's a dope artist and she's about to be, well, it's popping, about to be popping. So
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.